there's two main things that I was going to talk about, and these might be more on the political side of things, but
Okay.
we talking about the tech part of it and less the political part of it, just so that we have base understanding of what's being talked about. But then we won't necessarily go into the politics of it because that's not what we are here for. And so the first thing is kind of this. You'll be hearing of tech jobs actually being automated. You're going to hear a lot recently of automated jobs, but specifically tech jobs also are in the verge of being automated.
I heard that even basic coding can be
Yes,
automated now.
yes, and that's one of the things that one of the evidences that is going to be showing like what that looks like what how does it mean that these things will be automated away. So in the gaming world, there's what's called ray tracing
Hmm.
that is becoming pretty popular now that it's going to be in the next generation consoles.
I know what that is. Can I, for those people that don't know, because I only just learned what this is, it's in the video games when the light looks more realistic. Your eyes can kind of tell in those video games where the light is artificially generated by the artists. And they do a pretty decent job, way better than I could do. But ray tracing, after Victor showed me and introduced me to this concept, where it looks like there's a more genuine light source and the shadows are more genuine to life, there's a notable difference, and it's actually a lot less to visually process. As someone that finds it hard sometimes to process video game stuff, I think the more true to life is easier for your eyes to understand more immediately, and it
Yeah,
just looks better. Anyways,
and
go on.
so what technologically it means and how it makes it easier for game development and takes less resources and in turn less people is so, like before ray tracing, somebody had to design not to like when a video game has a light in it. People had to design the light. They had to design the spread of the light. They had to design the hitbox of the things that are in the light and how that light interacts with those things. And so if you had something creating a shadow, you had to you had like the essentially you had the
How it
code the shadow how everything would work. You're back in the old days. You actually just straight up had to create your own sprite shadow, and then like and put it in there like as an additional piece of art. And now you can just kind of tell the light like say that this is a light, this is an object, this is where the light is spreading and things like that. And then what ray tracing does is it essentially takes that and it takes that idea and just kind of automates it so that it understands light sources and it understands objects and it can do all that programming in real time as things are happening. So it can, and it does it with reflections, it does it with lighting.
when you say in real time, you mean
While you are playing the game, like
oh.
in that
Oh,
environment,
so it's not.
it is
Oh.
generating the light and the reflections and
Hmm.
everything. Now, this is a huge hit right now to computer performance. So a lot of computers aren't actually able to turn it on and play the game.
You're saying it takes a lot of memory that most computers aren't built to
Yeah, it
run
takes a
that
lot of
high. And
memory to do that and processing power. And
but now that that's being automated away, ultimately it's a
yeah,
good thing. It just
it'll make it
more
you can
steps
make
to
nicer
get.
looking video games without having the team that used to be necessary.
Yeah.
And that's just one part. Then there's like basic coding is now also being automated. In essence, there's I guess the easiest way to kind of think of this is websites nowadays. When you have Squarespace or these developers, Dreamweaver, a lot of it is now drag and drop. You can build websites without even needing to know code. You can just drag and drop different templates, or you can drag and drop different
Yeah.
what do you call those, plugins and extensions.
I've been enjoying the Google one.
Yeah, the Google has its own site creator, and as those site creators right now are very basic, even the more advanced ones are starting to be able to do a lot of things that don't even require code. And then as those more advanced ones,
What do you mean?
well, they require code, but they can code it automatically. So you just tell it what you want it to do. In basic terms, like I want to put a picture here on the website, and it's able to do it and make it look nice and add the tags and what however else it needs. And like tags pretty much can be automatically generated too, with especially with Google learning what pictures are. So you could take a picture of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and Google knows exactly what that picture is.
Sorry, Google answered as if he was talking.
And so there's a lot of parts to a website and that's just a small bit. Same thing with back in the gaming world, like small bits of coding, like is saying how a character should run, how a character should animate. Those things are being easily done just by the
Is there
editors.
like a formula that basically is taking over it? This you're saying it's automated, but it's like an artificial, like it's a code to write a code, kind of.
Yes, essentially, it's an
artificial intelligence, which is in essence a code.
Yeah, it's and what is this, and right now it's less of artificial intelligence, more of
algorithm.
It's more of an interface, making an interface that makes it so that instead of typing in code to do what you want to do, you mess with the interface. So let's say if I wanted to have a character that swung a sword, right?
Okay.
And I wanted to make that animation, instead of coding all the different like the entire animation, the body movement, you could literally just there's interfaces now where you can just hit record, and then you can drag the body, because the body now has like skeletal structures. You can just drag the parts of the body that you want to move, and then you have a start point and end point, and then it codes everything for you as to how the body would move to get that animation.
Okay. I think that makes it pretty clear.
Yeah, and it makes it so that like and the coding part might not necessarily just be for coders. It could be now for more on the animation side, or like the people that are drawing these things, or the engineers. You'll just need less engineering staff, because you would have the engineers that are doing the game work, and you don't have to have the smaller staff, or like the kind of the larger staff of engineers that are doing the smaller work anymore.
Sounds neat.
Yeah, and so automation and in the tech world is they're essentially, it's funny, like kind of automating themselves away.
I mean, but that is the sign of a good job. I mean, that's kind of like the thing is like a good, well, like any profession, the best kind of person will work themselves out of a job, basically. But that is exciting.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of cool things, and it'll also make it very easy for a lot of smaller indie developers who if you just are you're a very minimal coder, but you have a great idea. A lot of these game engines will have these systems built in so that you could build a very nice, proper game.
That is ultimately the nice thing, is that it makes it more accessible for a wider pool of people, thus making it more accessible to a wider range of ideas, as more people can access and create and make do with these advancements. That it is nice.
Thank you for watching Tech Talks. If you liked the video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.